Hi, hello, how have y'all been? Hope everybody's been doing safe. So today, if you can't tell by the title, we are gonna talk about how my best friend passed away. Um, I was gonna do a video like this when it happened, but you already know I stopped doing YouTube, and that's my little chickla back there. So I decided now that I've given myself some time, to grieve, and I really do think that her story is important. Even if one person hears it, at least they know how dangerous it is to be driving while intoxicated and stuff like that. So I have some photos here that I would like y'all, to see, because she was a very, lively person. She was very sweet, and she was very kind and very smart. So me and Raylina actually met in 6th grade, the same year that I met my novio. She was new to the school. Come here, baby. Come say hi. You want to say hi? Come say hi.
I want some Lego.
Say hi.
I want Lego.
She don't want to say hi. You don't want to say hi? Whoa, you're going to drop my phone. Okay, go play with your dad. And so we met in the 6th grade. She was new. I remember exactly what she was wearing on the first day that she came to school. She was wearing like this emoji shirt, because emojis were like the thing back then. And she had short red hair. She's always had it. It's not like a red, like a cherry red like auburn. And she was very sweet. She would say hi to everybody, and she did not take crap from nobody, though. She was a real down to earth person. But if you whoa, that lighting though. If you got on her bad side, then you're on her bad side. So here's some pictures of here's me and her. That was us in 7th grade on November 18th, 2016. I was 14 here and she was 13. I have some other pictures here too, but I'll show them later on. So Raylina and me were friends, and then in 7th grade, me and her got really close, which was actually when that picture was taken, in 7th grade. And we got really close, and the next year in 8th grade, I found out that I was pregnant with my son. And y'all know this, I had my son when I was 14. So I think I was maybe, I would say maybe about 6 months pregnant when me and her were really we had already been super close, but she started going to my house more, she was real excited about the baby. She knew me before before I even got pregnant, obviously, but I think when I was 6 months pregnant, she me and her really became close, because she was just always at my house. And I was already living with my boyfriend at this time. So when I mean my house, I mean with us. So she got really close to, obviously, my boyfriend too. She would always play with him and kiss me in front of him and be like, oh, it's my girlfriend or whatever, right? And then he'll be like, oh, whatever, and she'll be like, oh, it's my baby mama. And we were really close, and she was really a really fun person to be around. So you can imagine when a girl is 14, having a kid, there's a lot of people who put their 2 cents in, and it's not like they're buying my diapers or my wipes or supporting my child, but there's a lot of people who think that they have a say-so in your life, and they don't, and they judge you, and they don't even know the circumstances or what your situation or anything. And so I was having a really hard time, being young and pregnant, having teachers at school tell me stuff, other kids, and I'm not the type of person to take stuff like that to heart. I have really tough skin, unless it's somebody who I love, then if like somebody who I love is telling me something like that, yeah, I do take it to heart. But if it's just like somebody who has nothing to do with me, then I don't really care. But she cared. Like, if she heard somebody talking, or if she found out that somebody was talking, she would go tell him something. Like, she didn't give a shit. Like, she would just go and tell him off. She'd be like, who are you, you know, say hi. And she didn't play games when it came to her friends. Like, she was really like the type of person to have your back. Like, she always had her backs no matter what. So when I actually had my son, it was the next year. I was in 9th grade, and that's when Raylina was like just showing up at my house, you know, like nobody's business. Like, she just came, and she didn't care if she was invited or not. Like, she would just show up, knock on my door. And even when she had really hard times, you know, there was a couple times that she just had nowhere else to go, and she would go to my house. And me and her grandma were close because she never really had her own phone, so she would like use my phone to call her grandma or whatever. So I had her grandma's number, and I'm kind of getting emotional, I'm sorry. She would come over and stuff, and she would kiss the baby, and I would be so exhausted from breastfeeding and, you know, just being a mom. And in the beginning, Isaiah was a really heavy sleeper, so he wouldn't wake up at night, so I was really tired during the day. And she would come over and she would help me with the baby while I was sleeping, and she would be there for hours, and I would be asleep the whole time. And usually my boyfriend, he wouldn't get home till late because sometimes he would work after school, so it would just be me and my mother-in-law and her at the house, and I would be asleep, and she would just take care of my son, and she would kiss him, and she would tell him how much she loved him, and she would try waking me up, and like, she would play with me, and then she would let me sleep because she knew how tired I was. And she was always there, she was always around, and she was always helping me. And it came to the point where right before we moved out of our old house, my mom had passed away, and me and my mom were not really close, but I will be honest with y'all, like, I did take it hard, but it wasn't like when she died. Like, when she died, when my best friend died, it was way worse than when my mom passed away. And that's sad, you know, because then you could only imagine how me and my mom's relationship was. But me and my best friend, like, she was there for me the whole time. Like, she just, you know, she came to my house, you know, for a little bit, because she knew. And one time my novio was working with his dad, and it was just me and my mother-in-law at the house, and my son was probably about 4 months old when this happened, when my mom had passed away. And she came to the house, and it was the day that she found out that, because I hadn't really told nobody about it, you know, I wasn't really on the phone. I didn't even really, you know, I didn't want to carry my son that much because I didn't want him, I believe in, like, your kids know when you feel something and you can give them that feeling, so I didn't want him to grieve or anything or to feel depressed. So my mother-in-law was really the one, like, that was helping me with him and his dad too.
Mommy,
Hold on, baby.
look.
She came to the house, and she had knew because I had told her, but she didn't know, like, exactly how or what happened. And so she just, my bed used to be in the living room at this time because we're already getting ready to move out, so all the boxes were inside our room. And she was just hugging me, sitting on my bed, and telling me, like, that it was gonna be okay, and that she was there, and she had bought me, you know, candies and chips and stuff, and she had got the baby some like shoes or something. I can't even remember. It was like the little booties because he was small still. and she ended up leaving, and she had spent that whole day with me or whatever. And when we moved out, she never got to be here, here in this apartment that we live in now. But we always kept in touch, like I would go see her at my school because I was still going to school over there. Like that whole 9th grade year, we saw each other every day. Her and my boyfriend, they both rode the bus together, not on the same bus, but they were like, there's a certain area where you would wait for the buses. So them two, like, they would see each other. I would see her whenever I'd wait for him to get off of school. And we're close, and whenever we needed something, we would always text each other, make sure we're doing okay. If she posted something that I felt like maybe she was sad or needed a friend, I would text her, and that was pretty much it. There was plans of her coming over and here to spend the night and stuff. And my boyfriend's brother actually came instead, so we had to cancel our plans. So that would have been the last time that she could have been to our house. And right before she passed away, we had just texted like a week before, and she was telling me if she could come over, and I told her, yeah, like, come over or whatever. And like I said, she didn't ever really have her own phone, so whenever I had texted her, she never got to answer me back. So like, I told her yes, but I guess I had took too long, so she didn't have a phone no more to check her messages or whatever. And it was like the week before she passed away. And she went to an early college school, so these are some pictures from her school where she, like, the year that she was there. And this one was taken, I think, maybe a week or so before she passed away. And Raylina had her own personal issues, everybody does, everybody has their own demons and stuff like that. And she was a really good person, and she liked to have fun like any other kid, she had went to, I guess, I don't know if it was a party or what, she went somewhere with her friend and her cousin. So it was 3 boys, her and another girl, and the other girl was 14. By this time, Raylina was 16, and she had got into the front seat on the passenger side, Raylina, and the girl that was driving she had been drinking and she had been smoking weed, and they were driving down a street, and when they were driving down that street, she lost control of the car. So when she lost control of the car, the detectives say that she was going maybe 95 to 100 miles an hour, and she hit the bridge. She hit a bridge that was like on that, it was like a curve almost, so it was a bridge that bent, and she hit the bridge, and on that bridge right at the end there was a street light. She hit the street light, and then there was these wooden posts with a wire through it, and she knocked down, like, I think it was 10 of those, and she slammed into a tree head on. And when she slammed into that tree head on, it hit on Raylina's side, so it was on the passenger side, so it went like straight into her, and she ended up passing away due to the impact. The guy that was sitting behind Raylina got it the second worst. He couldn't even show up to the funeral. He was in the hospital. He was unrecognizable. His body was swollen like 4 times his actual, body. He needed a neck brace. He broke both of his legs. The guy in the middle was her cousin. He was younger. He's like, I think he's 14 or 13. And when this happened, and he really didn't get no broken bones or nothing. He had a scar, on his face. He still does, but from the glass, I guess. And then the guy next to him got it the third, whereas he needed back surgery. He has a plate in his head. He has a skull. I mean, he has a scar that goes all the way down his head. My boyfriend had to help him walk up the stairs at the funeral home because he had a crutch. And even if, I don't know if y'all seen clips of the news from when it happened, but he was on the news and you can see him walking with a crutch, you know, and he was crying and he was saying stuff at the candlelight, you know, like something about her face and crying, and that he knew that she wasn't gonna wake up and stuff like that. And it was hard to hear, you know, because he was there. And the girl that was there, she was 14 and she was the one that was drinking and smoking. She said that the guy that got it like the second worst, the one on behind Raylina, said that she got off the car and got on her phone. She didn't call 911. She didn't do nothing to help them. She didn't check if they're okay. And that guy that got the second worst, he was conscious during the whole time. He was the only one that didn't black out, besides that girl. And he was trying to wave down cars because his seat went outside of the car, like it broke. So he was just trying to wave down help. And eventually, you know, firemen came. And where she passed away walking distance from my house. The dad was very disrespectful to my best friend's dad. You know, he would say stuff like, I'm gonna go pee on her grave, you know, this and that, blah blah blah. And you know what, I understand he's upset too, but who gave her the car keys? You know, where was he when his daughter was driving drunk and high, you know? And we don't have her. At least he has his daughter, you know, like where do we get that? We don't get that. So Raylina passed away on April 13th and 2019, and she was 16 years old. She would have been 17. And it was hard, you know, going to her rosary, you know, seeing her, you know, in a casket was really hard, you know. And I gave her a ring when she in her casket. It's a mariposa ring that I had got for a gift, but I have 2 butterfly rings. So I gave one to her, and I put it the way they had her hands. They're kind of like, they're like this, like on top of her, but they were in this kind of shape. So I put it to where it was like if she was holding it, because first of all, I didn't want to grab her hand and like pick up her finger and put it on her. Not that that's wrong or anything, but you know, they had her like this already, and I didn't want to move her. She had her makeup on, obviously, you know, the morticians did her makeup, or whoever did her makeup. And she looked like herself. She looked really beautiful, but you could see where her lips were busted, you know, and they tried to cover it with lip gloss. She had a bald spot on her hair, and Raylina never had a bald spot, you know, like that's not something that she had. So we knew that it was, you know, that had, I don't know if her hair got pulled by something or what, but she had a quite decent size, you know, bald spot on her head.
What's so cool?
And she just, you know, it was hard. And I think the hardest thing was when, you know, saying goodbye was when we were doing the burial. They have that line where you go and you throw a rose and dirt over the coffin, so you're like helping bury them. And that was hard for me, you know. I cried and I did not want to walk, you know. My mother-in-law had to carry me across because I couldn't do it. Like, I let go of the dirt, because you grab the dirt first and you let it go. And I couldn't let go of the rose. Like, I couldn't do it. And I did, but it was like hard. It was horrible. Like, that was I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. Like, that was difficult. And you know, I still go to her tree because it's not far from my house, obviously, and I water her plants and stuff like that. And you know, I just talk to her and I tell her how, you know, the baby's doing. I talk to her family all the time. You know, I see how they're doing and I make sure that they're okay. You know, if they ever need anything, I always tell them that I'm here. And I'm the one that lives closest to her tree, so I'm the one that really, you know, it's kind of like the guardian of her tree, you know, or some shit. Like, I'm the one that really takes care of it. And here's some pictures of her. I believe her boyfriend made this picture. And he yeah, she would have been 17 now. I believe she passed away when she was 15, and her birthday was like right around the corner, so she would have been 16. But she didn't live that long of a life, you know. And I just wanted to make this video to bring awareness of, you know, intoxication while driving, because it's not a joke. There's so many people who die every day from head-on collisions, from, you know, car accidents, you know, because when you're drinking, you don't see things the way you would when you're not drinking. You know, everything's different. And I believe that maybe that they were just trying to have fun. Like, she had a choice to get in that car, and I know that her by herself, she would have been the person to be like, don't blame her because I had a choice to be in that car. You know, I had a choice to sit there. I had a choice to get in there knowing that she was drinking, knowing that she was smoking. I know Raylina is that type of person that she's like, she would have taken full responsibility for her own death. Like, she would not want us to blame anybody, you know. She would have been the one telling us, well, I had a choice and I chose to do that, so don't be mad at her or him, or don't be mad at anybody, you know. It's not their fault, because she was just that person. She was that person that she was so selfless that she just, even in her death, she wouldn't have wanted us to feel like it was her fault, that girl's, or that it was the dad's fault or the parents' fault, you know, because she would have been like, well, I got in the car and that was my choice. And we know that that's just the type of person that she is. And, you know, I hope that there's something other than, you know, nothing. You know, I believe in God, and I hope that that she's, you know, being free and being herself in heaven, and, you know, living her best life up there, because we don't know. And I wish every day that I could have, you know, especially because she was right next to my house, I could have texted her and asked her what she was doing. And if she would have told me, I would have told her, you know what, no, that's not safe, come to my house instead, or something. And if I could go back in time, I would, you know, but everything happens for a reason, and it was just her time, and we just don't know how long we have, and we just gotta make the best of every day and hope that we have a long life to live, and if not, then make the best of what we got. So that's the end of this video, guys. If y'all want more videos, y'all can leave messages down in our Instagram and let us know what other videos y'all would like to watch. And we'll have another baby review coming up.
Mommy, it's mine.
We're just waiting for this coronavirus to kind of die down a little bit so we can take him to get his own toy. And yeah, so I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. She hit that bridge. She hit all these little guys. So here's her tree. Her dad planted all of these, you know. We helped plant them, you know. This is, I think, is just a bush growing. We look at her berries. So I'm the one that takes care of her tree, right? Somebody actually caught her tree on fire, so that's why it's black right there. But if you can see right here, you know, all our messages, stuff like that, you know. It was a lot more stuff, but like I said, the tree caught on fire, so that's why it's like this. So if you see these wooden posts, guys, this is where she knocked them down. That's why there's no more wire in them. They were gone. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There was about 11 of them that fell. And this bridge over here, see, when the accident first happened, they had like spray paint, and they showed basically where she hit the bridge. She hit this bridge over here, she hit that light post, and she hit a couple of those. That's why they're kind of bent. But yeah, this is where the accident happened. I just wanted y'all to see, you know. But I rest in peace, baby girl. I love you.